Pens used to be a pretty add-on to early e-notes. They only worked on their respective devices. Now there are over 25 different pens on the market, 90% of which are cross-compatible on other devices. Today we're going to be looking at the top 10 stylus pens with Wacom enabled of 2021. Number 10, the Stadler Norris Jumbo. Stadler Norris is a German-made pen, and they have two different versions, the Classic and the Jumbo. Classic was relatively unimpressive, but the Jumbo added an eraser at the back that felt like an actual eraser. Now the downside was that it all just felt sticky. The nib was sticky, the eraser was sticky, so it didn't really work too well on glass screens, but it was made out of wood and it is backed by a very good company. Number 9, the BigMe pen. After its release on the BigMe B1 Pro, this was soon released as an individual purchasable item. Now the pen itself is fine, I suppose, however it was very thick, chunky, and heavy. It also didn't really have much support because it comes from a very unknown company, but it did do a decent job at taking notes, and it has Bluetooth enabled and is in fact the only pen with Bluetooth on it. Number 8, a little bit of a surprise here, the Guido pen. Yes, the pen is purchasable on its own and features a very unique eraser. It's a floating magic wand eraser in which you hold the pen's eraser above the surface and it starts to erase without any triggering whatsoever. It is a very good design, but backed by a company that has, in 5 years, only one unit. The pen itself is fairly standard, but is priced well and it looks great with a two-tone matte sandpapery type feel. Number 7, the Lamy. What was once ranked fairly high has fallen quite a bit of ways down the list in the past calendar year. The Lamy is the most cross-compatible pen on this list. It also has a side eraser that virtually works on every single unit. However, it is a little bit expensive. It's ranging well over the $100 USD mark. It's actually quite a thick and chunky pen. The nibs are also just plain plastic as well, so it doesn't give you the greatest writing experience on the market, but it is built well and it is made in Germany. Number 6, the Heart of Metal by Supernote. Yes, they have the most color variations of any unit on the market, but they added in the ceramic nib, which means it eliminates all the plastic-based screens from its use case. You shouldn't use this on anything that isn't running a glass screen. If you have a glass screen with a screen protector, you won't have a problem, and if you use it on the Supernote, it's great. There's no erasers, and the price has gone up recently due to the ceramic materials, so they have fallen quite some ways in the last year. We're in the back half here, people. Number 5, the Mitsubishi Hi-Uni Digital. Little do people know, aside from their cars, Mitsubishi has been making pens for quite some time. Since 1887, in fact. Yes, Mitsubishi has been making pens for 134 years. So, logic states that they would keep up with the times and make a Wacom-enabled EMR pen, extremely lightweight, made completely out of wood, and has a very nice track record of a big company backing them. It also works on virtually any device on the market. It doesn't have an eraser on the back, so it lands halfway at number 5. Number 4, the remarkable Marker Plus. The Marker Plus is a fairly expensive pen with an eraser that you have to push down. It doesn't have a side eraser, and this one has no nib canisters, much like its earlier counterparts, the Remarkable Pen 1 and the Marker Signature. This one is interesting because Remarkable is the only company that doesn't give you a pen at time of purchase. You actually have to choose which pen you want. If you don't choose a pen, you don't get one. The pen is a very good pen itself. The nibs are a little bit of a graphite blend and wear down semi-quickly, but we couldn't rank it any higher because of its high price tag and a little bit lack of cross-compatibility. The top 3 is here, the iReader Xpan. What was number 1 in 2020 as the best pen on the market is still great. It has an all-aluminum core with a nib canister at the back and a completely unique twist-off cap design that can't be used as a pen cap. It's a completely unique design. The pen writing feel is fantastic and replacement nibs are quite cheap. But you might be wondering, why has it dropped to number 3? And that's because of Mr. Number 2, the Nova Air Pen. Likely the most accurate pen on this list. If you tap something on your screen, you can be sure that it is going to recognize what you have tapped. It also has an all-new white design and a magnet snap on the side. It's a well-built pen, beautifully contrasted, nicely weighted, and you can snap it to not only its own device, but any device that really allows you to snap, like the iReader or the Remarkable. Couple of honorable mentions before we get to number 1. The Marker Signature by Remarkable. This was one of the coolest pens we've ever seen. Tactile feel at the back to help you to focus with a twist-off rear cap hidden nib canister compartment. Very good pen tips and an all-aluminum block design. Very, very, very nice pen. Soon discontinued once the Remarkable 2 came out. You can no longer find these pens anywhere. Amazon, eBay, anywhere on the market, these pens are absolutely gone. We don't know why. They were just up and vanished because they did work on other devices around the world. Fujitsu / Sony / Quirk Logic Pen Gen 1. Hands down, the best writing feel on the market, even today. Unfortunately, there were more cons than pros. The pen itself was $120. You needed to charge it with a micro USB cable. The replacement tips are almost impossible to find, $70 for replacement tips themselves, and the tips wear down so quick it's like it's chalk on a sidewalk. However, with all that, gives you the truest writing experience to date. If this pen worked on anything else but their own respective devices, this would definitely have made the list, but unfortunately, the lack of Wacom, the overpriced nature, and the inconvenience of always having to charge your devices, along with the anxiety of wearing down the tips quicker than you'd like, makes this pen nothing more than an honorable mention. Number 1, and the only brand to make the list twice, iReader Xpan Gen 3, and is the newest pen on this list, September 2021 release date. This pen is perfectly balanced, beautifully designed, magnet snap on the side, and an all-new patented eraser with the greatest eraser angle of any pen. Not only that, they have an all-new tip that is made out of graphite, but it's a much newer graphite technology blend than the 2014 Sony pen. This one gives you all the feel, but none of the wear down. Of course it does wear down, but good news, replacement tips are cheap and readily available. The fact that this unit has no cons can only make it number 1. If you guys agree with our list, if you don't agree with our list, let us know down below. For GoodyReader.com, this is Peter.